Friday night, the 3rd of April 2026, 9:15 p.m. Our next series of study, NGC 3500 to 3549, we'll only cover one group tonight, not a century, is basically about an hour from culminating. So I had to wait rather later in the evening to be able to begin this series. And as a result, I did an adventitious series previously of galaxies that had already been imaged in previous El Quattro sessions. However, they were done at 10-second exposure time, and we're back to our 5-second exposure time with NGC 3501 and Neighbor, a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 12.9, 3.9 by 0.5 arc minutes. Seriously, edge on. I'll put both of them in the field. Nice, beautiful spiralicity here. I'm sure this one will turn up later because it is further east. The galaxy of 3501 is 56 million light years distant, which puts it somewhere around 65,000 light years in diameter. RA 110247, a declination of plus 17, 5920. We have about a little less than 34 studies to get through this. A little less than 40 studies to get through this evening, so we have to move right along briskly. Excuse me, we're now off to NGC 3502, a galaxy in Crater. It's also NGC 3479, so I may have imaged it in the previous series, El Quattro Tour series. Magnitude 13, 1.8 by 1.3 arc minute, spiral with a bar, lowercase bc, so not very well developed. But 203 million light years distant at 1.8 arc minute means this is probably about 165 to 70,000 light years in actual diameter. RA is 1058.55 with a declination of minus 14 degrees 57.41 minutes. And I do believe we're getting a very decent view with some sense of a frontier, but it is not a rung galaxy. NGC 3502. NGC 3504 is quite present in the field. It's a galaxy with a neighbor and a very faint neighbor here. Be interesting to go to adventuresindeepspace.com. There's also a very faint edge on located right there, but I do believe this is NGC 3504. Galaxy in Leo Minor, magnitude 11. 2.7 by 2.5 arc minute, spiral with bar, lowercase ab, so fairly mature galaxy, as you can tell from its bright core and extensions. The galaxy has a ring, so that means one of its spiral arms, or probably both, are completely wrapped around the core region. 77 million light years distant puts it at about 55,000 light years in diameter. RA 110311 with a declination of plus 27 degrees, 58 minutes and 21 seconds. Let's see if we've gotten that 105x view. Very, very nice. Can't quite frame them all, but there it is. NGC 3504. NGC 3505 may be that small speck of luminosity, and yes, it is in the field. It's a galaxy in Crater. It's also NGC 3508, so I'll be skipping that one. Magnitude 14, 1.1 by 0.9 arc minute, football-shaped spiral with a lowercase b, so it does have a brightish core. 173 million light years distant puts it at maybe 60,000 light years in diameter. RA 110259 with a declination of minus 16, 17, 19. NGC 3506 is easily seen in the 30x 20% e-zoom field. Pushing it up. Nice tight little stars. The focus must be fairly good this evening. 3506, a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 12.5, 1.1 by 1 arc minute, spiral with a lowercase c. Ooh, that core looks a little too bright for lowercase c. You can also see these images on theskylive.com. Just remember that it's NGC 3506. 289 million light years distant means it's probably about 80,000 light years in diameter. RA 110312 with a declination of plus 110436. NGC 3507 is a brightish galaxy in Leo. It shares the field with that edge on we saw earlier, so we knew we were going to be picking this one out. Magnitude 10.9, 3.5 by 2.9 arc minutes, 49 million light years distant, so quite small, maybe 35,000 light years in diameter. Spiral with a bar in lowercase b. It does have a very nice frontier to it with some nodes in it. 49 million light years distance, as I said. RA 110325 with a declination of plus 180806. Yes, with 10 stacks, these spiral arms are becoming quite present in the field. NGC 3509 seems to be quite present in the field. It's a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 12.7, 1.4 by 0.6 arc minutes, spiral with a bar, lowercase bc, 344 million light years distant, maybe 125,000 light years in diameter, RA 110423, declination plus 4 degrees, 49 minutes, 44 seconds. And yes, we are getting a little tilt to these spiral arms and a star-like core. Look for it, NGC 3510. There's an edge-on galaxy there. Let's see if it maps. Galaxy in Leo Minor, looking pretty good to me. It's 12.2 magnitude, 4.1 by 0.8 arc minute size. Spiral with a bar, 37 million light years distance, so maybe 40,000 light years in diameter. RA 110343 with a declination of plus 28 degrees, 53 minutes, 5 seconds. And here's 8 stacks on that galaxy. Despite being relatively low in the sky, this galaxy was quite apparent even at 30x because it's a magnitude 11, 6 by 2.1 arc minutes, NGC 3511 in crater. Spiral with a bar and a lowercase c. We'll get by the aspect ratio. It's clearly this galaxy here, 3511. 49 million light years distant, puts it about 95,000 light years in diameter, RA 110323 with a declination of minus 23 degrees, 5 minutes, 11 seconds. There are some fainter fuzzies in the field as well. AdventuresInDeepSpace.com. NGC 3512 is a quite present galaxy in the middle of the field. In Leo Minor, magnitude 12.3, face on 1.5 by 1.5, seems to have a brightish core, but that's not what it says here. It says spiral with a bar and lowercase c. 67 million light years distant. That puts it somewhere around 35 to 40,000 light years in diameter. RA is 110402, declination plus 280212. Several other galaxies in the field. I'll try to show all 3. NGC 3513. You can pick it out. I believe we already saw this edge-on galaxy. It may very well be this one. Let's get it up to our 105x view. It's a galaxy in crater and magnitude 11.5, 2.9 by 2.4 arc minute. Yeah, pretty face on. Spiral with a bar and a lowercase b. Doesn't seem to have much of a core, but I can see a bar. 54 million light years distant, puts it somewhere around 50,000 light years in diameter. RA 110345 with a declination of minus 23 degrees, 14 minutes, 40 seconds. We're getting some pretty decent views that far south. NGC 3514 is a rather faint galaxy right there, easier to see if you avert your vision. It's a galaxy in crater, magnitude 13. Not bad seeing a 13th magnitude galaxy at 30x. 1.1 by 0.9 arc minute, spiral with a bar and lowercase c. 164 million light years distant, maybe 55,000 light years in diameter. RA 110359, and the reason I made the observation about 13th magnitude galaxy is we're at declination of minus 18 degrees, 46 minutes, and 52 seconds. Okay, I want to show you this next galaxy from first stack because it's a great way of determining seeing conditions. NGC 3515 is a near 14th magnitude galaxy, although it's higher in the sky. I do believe we're seeing it right there. Pushing it up, confirming based on information characterizing it. 3515 is a galaxy in Leo Minor, magnitude 13.9, 0.9 by 0.7 arc minute, spiral with a lowercase bc. 391 million light years distant. RA is 11:04:37 with a declination of plus 28 degrees, 13 minutes and 38 seconds. It's in the sky's middle third. It's nearly magnitude 14, probably visual, but has to be confirmed. And it was smallish, and we could see it from the very first stack, which means sky conditions are quite good this evening. NGC 3518. Looks like a fairly bright galaxy right there in the middle of the field with a slow walker moving through the field as well. It's a galaxy in Leo. It's also NGC 3110. Whoa. Magnitude 13.5, 1.6 by 0.8 arc-minute spiral with a lowercase b, 226 million light years distant. Right ascension is 10:04:01, declination minus 6:28:29. We're about an hour off from our appropriate right ascension. This is one of those galaxies that got fumble-fingered on entering its data into the log. NGC 3520, looking at the field, I'm not quite making it out. Maybe you did. Yeah, if that's it, or that's it, it's obviously too faint. Although pretty far south. 3520 is a galaxy in crater, magnitude 13.3, 1.3 by 1 arc-minute, spiral with peculiarities, so it's being disturbed gravitationally, or it's in some kind of fit of star creation. 174 million light years distant, puts it about 70,000 light years diameter, RA 11:07:08, with a declination of minus 18:01:30. Yeah, that explains why we couldn't see it from the outset. Okay, we got a rather obvious galaxy here, an NGC 3521. It is not a Messier. It's a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 9, 11.2 by 5.4 arc-minutes. Probably too faint an average surface brightness to be seen with a 4-inch scope. Spiral with a bar, lowercase bc. That core looks pretty bright, but it is a very large galaxy, 28 million light years distant, probably somewhere around 90,000 light years in diameter. RA is 11:05:48 with a declination almost spot on the celestial equator of 2 minutes and 10 seconds, however, in the southerly direction. And here is an 11-stack view of the previous galaxy. NGC 3522 is quite visible in the field. Pushing it up. It's a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 13.1, 1.2 by 0.7 arc-minute. And did you think it was an elliptical? I certainly did. 57 million light years distant, very, very small. Probably no more than 25,000 light years in diameter. RA 11:06:40 with a declination of plus 20 degrees, 5 minutes and 7 seconds. Despite the fact that we're 2 days away from the post-full moon, I am not seeing much evidence of its luminosity as it arises to the east in the sky. What we're seeing here is NGC 3524, galaxy in Leo, magnitude 12.8, 1.6 by 0.5 arc-minute, 3:1 aspect ratio galaxy. Let's have a look at with a neighbor, and possibly another one at 150x. Let's see if we still see those at 105. Yes, we do. Magnitude 12.8, 1.6 by 0.5, spiral with a lowercase a, 62 million light years distant, puts it maybe 30,000 light years in diameter, RA 11:06:32, with a declination of plus 11:23:06. NGC 3525, I'm not making it out. It's pretty far north as it is. And yes, there are a couple of faint galaxies. Let's pick and choose between them. What are we going to use? Parent size and the morphology. 3525 is also 3497, but it's progressed more, so it really should be part of the 3500 series. It's magnitude 12.6, 2.6 by 1.5 arc-minute. Lenticular spiral. This is my candidate right here, 164 million light years distant. All right, ascension of 11:07:18 with a declination of minus 19 degrees, 28 minutes, 19 seconds, which explains why we're not seeing as much of its extensions as we might like. Pausing, and now we have 11 stacks, and I'm going to push it up to 150 150x, framing both galaxies and moving on. NGC 3526, I'm seeing something faintly there. Let's see if that is our view. And yes, it is a galaxy in Leo. It's also 3531. Magnitude 13.2, 1.9 by 0.4 arc minutes. So yes, a 5 to 1 aspect ratio spiral with a lowercase c. Not much of a core there. This one's well characterized. 62 million light years distant. Probably some 35,000 light years in diameter. RA 110656 with a declination of plus 7, 10, 25. And here's an 8-stack view. Okay, let's see what we can make out here. I think there's something faint right there. Pushing it up. A couple of faint galaxies. NGC 3527 and Ursa Majoris, magnitude 13.7, 1 by 0.9, spiral with a bar, lowercase a. So hard to pick them out, adventuresindeepspace.com, but it is a lowercase a, which means it's probably this galaxy here. 446 million light years distant, means it's about the size of Messier 31, 150,000 light years in diameter. RA 110718, declination plus 28, 31, 37. I just pushed this field up to 150x. The weather has taken a turn for the colder. As we seek out NGC 3528, a galaxy in crater. It's also 3497. Magnitude 12.6, 2.6 by 1.5 arc minute lenticular. That's my candidate right there. 164 million light years distant, puts it about 110,000 light years in diameter. RA 110718, declination minus 1928, 19. Nary a tick of the drive for NGC 3529, a galaxy in crater. Magnitude 14, 1 by 0.8, spiral with a bar and lowercase b. Probably this one right here. 167 million light years distant, so maybe 60,000 light years in diameter. RA 110719, declination minus 19 degrees, 33 minutes and 21 seconds. Not a bad view of that far south. NGC 3531 is quite visible, that edge-on galaxy near the middle of the field. It's in Leo. It's also NGC 3526. I should have already imaged it, but have another look. Magnitude 13.2, 1.9 by 0.4, spiral, lowercase c, 62 million light years distant. We're off to probably what is the faintest galaxy of the night, although I'm seeing something in the middle of the field. Maybe this fainter one here. This seems like a group. 3534A is a galaxy in Leo. Its magnitude 15.4, 1.3 by 0.3 arc minutes. So it's probably this edgy on here. Certainly not going to be magnitude 15 for visual. Probably something more along the line, since it's a spiral with a B, of 14.6 or so. 295 million light years distant, means about 100K in diameter. It's got neighbors, of course. RA 110855, declination plus 26, 36, 37. Let's just go on to B. NGC 3534b is a galaxy, another galaxy in Leo, slightly fainter, magnitude 15.6, 0.9 by 0.4 arc minutes, 2 to 1 aspect ratio, 378 million light years distant, spiral with a lowercase b, which is probably this one right here. RA 110857, declination plus 26, 35, 46. While we're heading to our next study, I wanted to go ahead and give you a 150x view of 17 stacks on the previous galaxy. Okay, we're off to NGC 3535, and it is probably this brighter galaxy here in Leo, magnitude 13.5, 1.1 by 0.5 arc minutes. Not getting that aspect ratio, are we? Well, maybe when we push up the magnification. Spiral with a lowercase a, 314 million light years distant, maybe 95,000 light years in diameter. RA 110834, declination plus 4 degrees, 49 minutes and 54 seconds, dropping back down to our standard view and then heading out. Getting some chill breeze now as we go for a view of NGC 3536. It's a galaxy in Ursa Majoris, magnitude 13.7, but we're not getting much of a view. Wow. 1.1 by 0.8 arc-minute spiral with a bar lenticular A with an annularity. Pushing it up to 150x. 490 million light years distant means probably about 170,000 light years in diameter. RA is 110851 with a declination of plus 28, 31. We may be getting some obstruction from the telescope, from Penti, the observatory, however, on this one. NGC 3537, there may be something faint right about there. Let's check it out. Yes, that is indeed likely to be our study. With slow walker moving through. Galaxy and crater, magnitude 14, 1.6 by 1.2 arc-minute, spiral with lowercase a b. 280 million light years distant, probably something around 110,000 light years in diameter. RA is 110826 with a declination of minus 10, 15, 24. Okay, this should be a fun one. NGC 3539. I'm going to let it slide a little bit. It's a galaxy in Ursa Majoris, magnitude 14.5, but it's 1.1 by 0.2 arc-minute, 5-to-1 aspect ratio. I do believe after 3 stacks, we're seeing it right there. 435 million light years distant means it's probably the size of Messier 31. I do believe we did see this 14.5 magnitude galaxy at 30x. It's a lenticular spiral, which helps. 435 million light years distant. RA 110908 with a declination of plus 28 degrees, 40 minutes and 19 seconds. Let's have that 150x view before bailing. Okay, heading into the home stretch now, we're looking for NGC 3540. It's a galaxy in Ursa Majoris. Kind of smallish and faintish, isn't it? Magnitude 13.3, 1.4 by 1.2 arc-minute, spiral with a bar of lenticular class. 292 million light years distant, so probably about 110, 15,000 light years in diameter. RA 110916 with a declination of plus 360115. I do want to push the magnification up to 150x before we head out near a brightest star. NGC 3541, I'm seeing something there, but let's go ahead and push it. It's probably this very faint galaxy located here. It's in crater, magnitude 15, 1.4 by 1.3 arc-minute spiral with a lowercase cd. Yeah, it barely has a visible core. Pushing it up to 150x. 345 million light years distant means about 150,000 light years in diameter. RA 110832, declination minus 10, 29, and 30. We've had 7 stacks. NGC 3542 may be visible on the screen. There's actually several of them, aren't there? It's a galaxy in Ursa Majoris, magnitude 14.1, 0.8 by 0.3 arc-minutes. I'm tending towards this one here, given that aspect ratio. Spiral with a bar, lowercase bc, okay. 405 million light years distant, so maybe about 100,000 light years in diameter. Several galaxies present in the field. Let's go up to 150x and frame them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow, maybe even a 7th galaxy there. All right, so right ascension is 110955, declination plus 365646 for NGC 3542. And friends, NGC 3544. It's a galaxy in crater. It's also NGC 3571, magnitude 12.1, but very large, 3 by 0.9 arc-minutes. Yeah, we are getting the extensions now, aren't we? After 4 stacks. Spiral with a bar, lowercase a, 163 million light years distant, so probably about 170,000 light years in diameter. RA 111130, declination minus 18 degrees, 17 minutes, 23 seconds. Let's have that 150x view, and we're seriously getting its extensions at that magnification. NGC 3545A is a galaxy in Ursa Majoris, and we've got back to that same group we had earlier, maybe a pairing right there. Let's check it out. It's magnitude 14.8, 0.3 by 0.3 arc-minute elliptical. Well, we got to have a very bright core. I don't trust that magnitude, however. It should be much brighter, so I suspect it's this galaxy here, which is the elliptical, 397 million light years distant, tiny, so maybe 35,000 light years in diameter. I'm going to push the magnification up, frame the whole group as I did previously, and then after 8 stacks, head out. Well, there is a B, as you might suspect, galaxy in Ursa Majoris, magnitude 14.8, 0.3 by 0.3 arc-minutes. So I don't know. This one seems to have an extension. Okay, well, I'm guessing now. AdventuresInDeepSpace.com. There's also this galaxy over here, so let's push it left. We were at 150x. How about that? Lenticular spiral, 396 million light years distant, maybe 30,000 light years in diameter. We're going to have to map this one out. RA 111012 with a declination of plus 36. 57, 52. Maybe there's a C. Okay, no C. We're going to head back down into crater. That moon is beginning to illuminate the sky, but thankfully we've got our next study, NGC 3546, between a pair of power lines. We're looking for probably this galaxy here. 105x in crater, magnitude 14, 1.3 by 0.7 arc-minute lenticular spiral. Yeah, very bright core. 199 million light years distant, maybe 70,000 light years in diameter. RA 110946 with a declination of minus 132252. And right now, it looks to me like Regulus is about 10 degrees from culminating. So that's just an interesting little reference point to make. Let's move on. And while navigating, here's a 150x view of that previous galaxy. Okay, NGC 3547 seems to be quite apparent there. It's a galaxy in Leo, magnitude 12.8. It's got some fainter neighbors in this region down here. Magnitude 2 by 0.9 arc-minute spiral with a lowercase b, 72 million light years distant, maybe 55,000 light years in diameter. RA 110955, declination plus 10 degrees, 43 minutes, 15 seconds. Not quite in the sky's middle third, but still a decent sky position. Framing up these two galaxies here and there. This is NGC 3547. Okay, NGC 3547 was the last galaxy, the pair, because 48 and 49 were too far north. Let's go have a final Carpe Noctem view for the evening. How about that? Okay, here's our first exposure of 60 seconds. And we're centered on Messier 65. 66 and NGC 3628, something like that. I don't know for sure. I'm just making up the numbers. What a brilliant view of this near-edge-on galaxy, as well as the spiral arms of Messier 66 and the annular, almost annular nature of Messier 65. Won't be giving you any data on this. We're about 28 minutes, 45 seconds in. I just want to get some more stacks. So what I'm going to do is allow the next stack to present itself, and then I'll pause and we'll have 3 stacks of the Leo trio for contemplation. Okay, our second stack is now done. Total exposure time of 120 seconds. I'm almost wanting to shoot for a 120-second stacks, but it's just too cold and I can't wait really that much longer this evening. So let me pause. Oh, let's make sure we take full advantage of some magnification here on the 3. Where are we at now? Let's see. E-zoom-wise, we're only at 50%, so let's go back to 40% e-zoom so we can frame them all appropriately and pause. Okay, we've now had our three stacks. I would say that despite the fact that we've got the full 2 day post full moon looming to the east, casting some moonshine into the atmosphere, we have gotten some very good views this evening. And it was an especially nice set of galaxies. So 30 minutes in, I'm going to say carpe noctem.